Right outside the Beihai city government gate, loud boom, boom sounds break the sky. A blue car speeds up and smashes straight into the big government sign. A black police armored van quickly blocks it and hits the blue car hard, making it spin in place. Then bang! 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 So many loud noises people can't tell if it's real guns, stun grenades, or sticks hitting the car. White smoke fills the whole square fast. In the video, dozens of riot police with big shields run from every side. They surround the blue car, smash the windows and doors with sticks. Then they rip open the driver's door, drag out a man in a white shirt, throw him on the ground like a bag of rice, and pull him away. Many normal people stand around watching, talking, and taking pictures. A local lady named Wang told the Epoch Times it really happened. Fire trucks and armed police came, but no one was hurt. She is not sure if real guns were fired. She said, "This is the first time ever in Beihai. Since the CCP took power, this is the very first case, so the government is taking it very seriously." The new mayor just started the job less than 1 month ago. Until now, the government gave no news and blocked everything on the internet. But on Douyin, Chinese TikTok, on the afternoon of the 25th, people could still search words like Beihai government gate crashed, Beihai government shooting, Beihai government hand grenade today, why police chase at Beihai government gate, lots of people at Beihai government gate. On overseas websites, people wrote very direct comments. Every case like this is forced by the CCP. Finally, someone hit the right target. Chinese people keep going. They finally learned. Drive the car into the government, not into a school. Real hero. Chinese people are almost broken. Under scary arrests and forced silence, someone finally understands the enemy is the government. This is not just one crazy man. This is the first big bang of China's 2025 powder keg. No one knows yet why the driver was so angry that he pointed his car at the government gate. But one thing is sure, this winter, millions of people feel they have no way out, just like him. 11 days earlier, on November 13, the Ministry of Agriculture held a meeting and gave a very strict order. Stop large groups of people from going back to villages and staying there with nothing to do. People quickly called this a last days of a dynasty warning. The numbers are scary in 2025. Tens of millions of migrant workers will go home early. Just one county in Hunan says 183,000 people will come back after Spring Festival, and more than 40,000 will have no job. Sichuan already has 280,000 people who lost jobs and went home 3 months early. China has almost 300 million migrant workers. If 30% go home, that is almost 100 million people. The ugly word, malicious returning home, was invented by local officials in 2022. Now the central government is using it again. One newspaper wrote very clearly, "First they told us go home and start a business. Now they say do not go home. Where should we go? No work in cities, no land in villages." This is not policy, this is pushing 300 million people to a dead end. In government speak, prevent always means danger, not help. They are not afraid of 1 or 2 workers going home. They are afraid of huge groups of angry, experienced workers going home together, people who know how they were cheated in the city, who still have unpaid wages, unfinished apartments they paid for, money they lost in scams. When they reach the village, they hear from parents and neighbors how village officials stole money, how houses were torn down by force. Many have no land, no job, and no future. So the question is, cities don't want them, villages can't feed them, and the government tries to stop big groups from going home. Where should these people go? Where will all this anger crash next? November 2025 in China smells like gunpowder everywhere. November 22 in Siphon County, Guizhou, 2 big farmer protests in one day. Reason: the government suddenly ordered, everyone must be cremated. Even people buried many years ago must be dug up and burned. Villagers say it is not for health or saving land, it is just to make money from dead people. Cremation costs 10,000 yuan and up, plus thousands for the urn, and there is no public cemetery. So people still have to bury secretly. People became super angry. That morning, government workers went house to house forcing families to sign, "I agree to cremation papers." Villagers chased them away and shouted, "If you want to dig up our family graves, first dig up Xi Jinping's family graves. Do you dare? If you touch the bodies, we will see if you can walk away alive." Around noon, news came that the government wanted to dig up a man buried only 3 months ago in Musang village. In less than 30 minutes, hundreds of villagers from everywhere ran to the graveyard with shovels, poles, sticks, and sickles. They made a big circle around the grave like a wall of iron. Someone carried the village loudspeakers up the mountain, turned them on, and played again and again, "Stop forced cremation! Let people rest in the ground! Give back our graves!" The sound filled the whole valley. At 2 p.m., government trucks with diggers and more than 10 police came. They saw hundreds of people with sticks and stopped halfway. Villagers lifted their shovels and shouted, "One more step and we smash everything." In the end, the officials ran away without touching one bit of dirt. That night, hundreds of villagers stayed on the mountain all night with flashlights and torches. Women and children came too. It looked bigger than New Year. At 6 p.m., only 4 kilometers away in Shutu village, the deputy county leader Chuang Yong brought people to a funeral house to take the body by force. The dead man's sister cried and stood in front of the coffin. Chuang Yong slapped her face hard. Blood came from her mouth. Her face swelled right away. That slap made the whole village explode. In 10 minutes, hundreds of people filled the yard. Sticks, stones, bricks flew everywhere. Someone cornered Chuang Yong against the wall and shouted, "You hit women. Go hit people in Beijing if you're so tough. Today you don't explain, none of you leave." Yong sweated a lot and shouted, "I'll pay all hospital money." A villager shouted back louder, "Pay with our tax money. Get out." The fight lasted from 7 p.m. to past 3 a.m. People pushed police, smashed government car windows. Finally, Chuang Yong sneaked out the back door. The small officials he left behind were trapped until morning. The two villages are still angry. People from nearby towns are already talking in WeChat groups. If they dig one more shovel in Saifeng, we all go there. The county called armed police from the big city at night. In the overseas videos, the loudest shout is, "Dig up Xi Jinping's family graves first." That sentence became the strongest, loudest fight back from Chinese villages in the winter of 2025. November 21 afternoon, Northwest University in Shaanxi. A paper called "Decision to Expel from School" quietly spread in school WeChat groups. The student is a physics undergraduate from 2023. Reason, he said in class he does not believe communism. This is not just one voice is the tip of the 2025 anti-CCP wave in universities. Kids born after 2000 and 2005 no longer bow their heads. Political classes became battlefields. Reporting classmates is normal. Getting kicked out is normal now. It started last September. In political class, the teacher talked about Marxism. The boy suddenly stood up and said, "I don't believe Marxism and I don't support the Chinese Communist Party leadership." The classroom went dead quiet. The teacher's face turned dark. The school quickly put him on watch inside school for openly breaking the 4 basic principles. But he did not stop. He kept talking in the class QQ group and in lessons. On September 16 this year, in the class Introduction to Xi Jinping Thought, the teacher asked, "What is the connection between communist dreams and making China strong again?" He laughed coldly and said, "No connection. China can become strong even without communism." Then a big argument started for half an hour. He added, "If the Communist Party falls, all you Marxism teachers will have to sell things on the street to eat." The whole class was shocked. Someone in the class reported him to the school discipline office. On November 21, the school kicked him out and tried to hide the news. Overseas people wrote, "This is Cultural Revolution 2.0. It is not the only case." Last year on August 27, in another Marxism class at the same university, another student exploded on video, "I'm not a communist! I don't believe communism! I don't like the fussing Communist Party!" The problem is you fussing force me to learn this fussing theory and I hate it. Comments under the video. Anyone who stands up is a real man. The Marxism school is a brainwash factory. In 2025, when Communist Party falls becomes a cool sentence for young people, the silence is ending and a big storm is coming. The gunshots in Beihai, villagers guarding graves in Guizhou, college kids shouting against the CCP, the government can call each one just one small case or crazy person. But all together in 2025, they sound like the loud whistle of a pressure cooker that is about to blow up. With the economy going down, China alone against the world, cleaning inside the government, and years of saved-up anger, the unemployed workers, the grave protecting villagers, the driver who crashed the gate, the kicked-out student, they are not 4 different groups. They are 4 sides of the same coming storm. The big question now, the government cannot really help people live better, but it only knows how to add more police and more silence. Will they keep everything stable? Machines start to break from too much weight. Especially the 300 million migrant workers, they were the main fuel for China's miracle. The last 20 years, they built roads and skyscrapers, worked in factories, delivered food and packages. But in 2025, they cannot stay in cities and cannot really go home. At this moment, any small fight can turn into a big attack straight at the Communist Party itself. If you look far back in history, today looks a lot like the last years of the Ming Dynasty. Back then, rich people took all the land, farmers lost everything in bad harvests and taxes, became homeless wanderers. When big groups finally went home, the villages could not feed them anymore. Anger saw hunger turned into Li Ziqing's army that marched into Beijing and ended the dynasty. 2025 China is playing a modern version. Land is taken by companies and local governments for money. 300 million workers lose jobs in the cold economy. Huge crowds want to go home but meet the order, prevent large groups from returning and staying. Anger with nowhere to go starts to explode in extreme ways. The blue car hitting the government gate in Beihai is the clearest picture. The CCP came to power with a farmer rebellion long ago. Today, what they fear most is farmers doing it again. Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments. See you next time!